Hey guys, welcome back. It's Karen with Everyday Home Life, and today I thought I would share with you our ultimate number one goal that we are working towards for our future, and that is financial freedom. So I thought I would just kind of go over what this means to us and kind of go over what financial freedom is, and again what it means to us and what our goal exactly with that is going to be. So I just thought this was a nice time to share this with you. So first of all, what is financial freedom or financial independence? I have the definition actually from Wikipedia, which is financial independence is the state of having sufficient personal wealth to live without having to work actively for basic necessities. So it's just kind of summing up that financial independence, when it comes down to it, is basically having all the money to cover your expenses every single month without having to rely on an actual job. So instead of working that 9-to-5 job to sustain yourself, you are sustaining yourself through your own wealth. It's pretty much what financial independence is. And this can be different ways to achieve this. There's so many different paths to it. So what I'm going to share with you today is just really what we're working towards and what our actual goal is. And again, there's tons of different ways to get to financial independence. So that is just kind of the definition of it. And I do have my notes here, so if I'm looking down, that is what I'm doing. So what financial freedom really means to us and how we're kind of applying that for our ultimate goal in life. Financial freedom to us is mainly the concept of it, which is having the freedom of not having to work at a regular job. You can be either part-time. A lot of people who become financially independent, they might not necessarily quit their jobs, or they might do a different job that they wouldn't be able to afford to take if they weren't financially independent. So it opens up a lot of options for you. And really, when it comes down to it, financial freedom to me equals time. So it really gives you the option to do what you want in your time without having that 9-to-5 job or job that you have to work 60 hours a week for to survive. So financial independence, financial freedom for us is having that choice. So whether it's to become part-time when you become financially independent, or to retire altogether, or to continue with your job, whatever that may be, whatever each person's goal is, those are just the options that it kind of opens up for you. So basically, you are just completely independent. You don't have to rely on a job. You have the money to make the choices that you want to make, and you're not tied down because of working. So really, financial freedom gives you a lot of time, and it allows for you to pursue what you want to pursue, whether it to be traveling or hobbies, whatever it may be that you are passionate about. It gives you those options, and it gives you that time and that freedom to do what you would actually prefer to do and pursue to do, what your passions, what your desires are, if you didn't have to work a regular job and you still were financially fit and you still have the money coming in every single month. So basically, to be financially independent, you are self-sufficient to where you are bringing in an income still, but it's through your own wealth that you had built up already. So try to explain this as best as I can. I'm not the best at explaining it, but I will give you some websites at the end to check out to look into this a little bit more. So for us personally, there are two ways that we feel that we can reach financial independence. The first one of the ways is kind of what most people do that's trying to work towards financial independence. It's more common, and that is to save a very good portion of your income and to invest all of that to earn a compound interest. So whether that be in your 401ks and in your IRAs, you're taking that money that you're saving, which is going to be a good portion of your income. You're going to save that and you're going to invest it. So all that money is compounding interest, and it's working to build more wealth for you. And that is kind of the typical way that people, the main path to financial freedom that I see most people do. So you're looking at needing to save maybe 60% of your income, even 50%. You could do it. But a lot of people work towards 60 to 75% of their income to save all of that money, which is a lot. That's a lot of money that you would have to save, and that it can be difficult. There's always things that's going to come up, so it's a struggle. It's something that takes time and a plan, and you have to really set your priorities. One thing that I see a lot on these websites that talk about financial freedom is not being wasteful with your money. So, you know, when you're working towards this goal, looking at a $4 Starbucks drink once a day, that is going to add up into a huge amount of money. And when you think of all that money over 10 years that you spend doing that, with what you could have earned in investments with a compound interest, you really are losing a lot of money when you do those little things. So it's all about priorities. It's whatever is important to you. If your goal is financial freedom, then you have to set your own path on how you're going to get there. And even little costs like a Starbucks drink, but any costs at all, you have to really look at as, how is this going to affect my path to financial freedom? How long is it going to delay it? So especially with any major purchase, you really want to look and see how much extra time are you going to have to work towards this goal, because you do want to purchase a certain item or whatever it may be, or you have a certain habit that you do every week that costs money. You just look at that and see, is it really worth it to you? And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not going to be. But that's something that I really like to look at every time we have a purchase, is it going to be worth it for us? So the second possible way of getting to financial independence, financial freedom, is something that we've already done before, and this is through a type of passive income. Passive income can be a lot of different things. Passive income is mostly where you are not having to actively work for that money, but you do have like a cash flow that comes in. This can be through a lot of different ways. One common one is rental property income. Another could be maybe you wrote a book and that book is earning you money every single month for months and months and months to come. That's passive income. So that's, and the typical way that I see a lot is through the rental income, and that is something that we have done. If you've watched our financial journey, we did have rental properties back in Ohio, and at that time we were technically financially independent. Neither of us had jobs, and we were not reliant on a actual typical job. So that's one way that you can definitely work towards financial freedom. Obviously, not rental properties are not for everybody, but that is one option for us too. So those are kind of the two ways that we are looking at working towards this goal, our ultimate goal of financial freedom. So we kind of are trying to do both ways right now. We still are looking at possibly doing rental properties again. Not sure if that's going to happen, maybe later on in the future. But either way, those are two possibilities for us to reach our ultimate goal. So if you've been watching my budget reports, you will see that right now our income is fairly low. And again, if you watch our financial story, it will kind of show you what's all has happened to get it to the point now. We were making a lot more money before we moved. We moved down to Florida, and we kind of just took some jobs that we could find, just so that way we didn't have to reach into our savings any, so we can keep having some income coming in when we moved. We took those jobs, and our goal has been, since moving, and still is to start our own business again. Either buy a business or to start our business, and that is something that we are working towards right now. So that's the reason our income is low. We're really hoping that we can get something going and started here soon. Otherwise, we would have to just look for something, maybe full-time jobs. We're both part-time because we are working towards that business goal. And we actually did just start a business a couple weeks ago. It is something that is fairly low-cost investment, and we're just going to see how it goes. I will probably do a video on this coming up and kind of go into detail what we're doing. Right now it's just kind of started, so I just want to wait a little bit. But we are working towards a business, and that is something that we are both really passionate about, is having a business again, and something that we really enjoy to do. Of course, there's difficult days with businesses. Any kind of business, you're going to have bad days or bad months. But this is something that we really want to do. We have a lot of passion and desire for. So we're working towards that as well. Our ultimate overall goal is financial independence. And we know that by doing certain things that we do could delay that. And that is something that we're willing to risk because, again, we do have a really good desire of having a business and hopefully being able to start one and make it successful here in Florida. So just kind of want to share with you that is why our income is low right now. Again, it was not that low before we moved. We were making a lot more money, but we're just trying to get into that now, and we'll see how that goes. One thing is, do we want to retire early? A lot of people that do work towards financial independence, once they reach it, whether they're 30, 35, 40, 45, whatever it may be, a lot of them do it with the goal of retiring early. For us, yes and no, we want to. No, as in, if we had a business and it was running and successful when we hit financial independence, we would not retire. We would probably continue with the business because that's something that we enjoy. But if we were working regular jobs and that's how we came to financial independence, is just saving and investing, we would probably prefer to retire early, or at least just be part-time at that point. Maybe going into something that we a little bit more enjoy. Again, it gives you that flexibility of deciding if what you want to do with that. So we don't necessarily want to retire early, but we like the idea of financial independence and the security of it, and having that option if we decide to. So how all this kind of came about was a little over a year ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it's been a little while, not too long. I had come across a couple websites. I don't know which one I found first, but both of them had a big impact, and both were found about the same time. And one is frugalwoods.com, and the other one is mrmoneymustache.com. And both of these websites really kind of go together. Both of them have way different goals. They don't have the same outlook as far as what they want to do in their financial independence, but they both work for that same goal of financial independence. And both are really good sites to check out. Mr. Money Mustache, I feel, goes into extensive detail on how to achieve it, on what it's about, what it looks like, how to do it. Really, really good detail in there. And then Frugal Woods is also really good on being frugal and working towards that as well. So both of those are really good sites. I would recommend checking them out if you guys are interested at all in this. If you haven't really read much about financial independence, don't know much about it, or you're interested in it, because again, I am not good at explaining things, so I will send you there to really look into it. So hopefully you guys can check those out. But those are some really good sites, some really good resources, and kind of see what our goal is, what this is all about. But that is our ultimate goal in our financial journey. That is what we really want to get to and work towards. And again, like, everybody's different on how they work towards it, and everybody has different goals. In the meantime, again, like, ours is going to be a business, where other people, that's not a part of it. So we have the same goal in mind, but again, it's just different ways of getting there. And also, just once you reach financial independence, there's so many different paths that you can take. A lot of people will travel, some people will stay working, some people will just retire early and spend more time with family, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different possibilities and outcomes, but that's what's so great about it, is it gives you that freedom of choice and time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'd be happy to answer anything. and I will see you guys again soon in the next video. Bye guys.